I like Sabrina Carpenter. I do need to debate myself about this because I saw this on Instagram and I thought, whoa, that's a lot. I also thought, what song does she have that she needs to be doing this, and what kind of lyrics is she going to sing where this makes sense? In the same way, when you see T-Pain videos where he's flying and the audio says she was a fairy, you're like, what song does T-Pain have that he needs to be doing all this? Also, I looked it up. She's 26. I'm 27, right? I did grow up Catholic, so I always check myself. I always check my prudence. Like, I really, really do try to. But if this is the ground, where are we going from here? What I'm saying is, if we're giving vintage sex symbol, where can we go from here? And like, I think of Sabrina Carpenter, I obviously think of Ariana Grande in the sense of like, you know, we start off a little more Disney, we get a little bit more mature. Something About You makes me feel like a dangerous woman. Leather and Bunny Ears is a slow progression that mirrors an incline that makes sense to me. Girl Meets World to this, I feel like we jumped off a cliff. Do you know what I'm saying? In a sense of, I'm like, where are we going from here? What is left? And what is happening that we need to be doing all this? That's what half my brain says. The other part of my brain is like, okay, I guess it's like artsy in a way. It's artsy in the way it would be in the 70s where you're like shocked to like see this and it's like edgy for the sake of being edgy. And then I ask myself, why would Sabrina Carpenter want to do that to her image? Is it to distance herself from Disney? Is it to get back at the mothers who said, why are you mimicking certain acts on stage when my daughter is present? That I all understood, and I understood all of that. I understood her reaction to all of that in the sense of like, you know, I'm not saying I'm for kids and blah, 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 and like, you paid for this show, like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I think shows are shows. Imagery is such a decision. And hair pulling and knees and like things that are so archetypically, I feel like she's been like slowly raising the water, and now like even us who's like a certain age that we're like, I don't think I'm prude, but this is a lot. Like, we're starting to get a little bit neck deep in it. Here's the thing. I think if she was doing something nuts that made sense with this, okay. But I know it's going to be like another mantra. It'll be witty. It'll sound melodic and kind of like a ballad. In my head, when you pull something out like this, it needs to make a lot of sense and you need to have a really good reason. Because you can't pull this out all the time. And I'm like, so if this is the ground, where's the ceiling? You know what I'm saying? Because we did sort of just launch. Like, we're in the mid-20s. What is the progression of this? And was it necessary now? And then like the next slide is a dog with a collar on. It's also like, I do worry about media literacy in this country. People aren't that smart. Like, and there can be hitting meetings, but I think personally, at least 20%, it's at least 20% we're not ready for this. Like, I was looking at it and I was like, I think it's at least 20% overshooting whatever it's trying to do. I don't like hate it more than anything. Here's why I don't think it makes sense right now. I think right now the album association is Man-Child, which is a slow, melodic, like seeped in a kiddie pool. Like it's chill. So for my first association of that song to be this image doesn't make sense for me and seems like a waste of the time to put out this kind of image. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what could possibly, what Bazinga, Aisha erotica type shit is coming out that this would seem justified to me? I don't know if I see that coming. I don't know. I'm not fully formed on it. I'm like, this is a lot right now. It's a lot. What is satire about women looking submissive and degraded in a world where women are asked to be submissive and degraded? What is satire about appealing to the male gaze and making a literal lock screen that a man would enjoy? Here's the thing. This is what made me solidify how I feel about this today. Men love looking at everything that Sabrina Carpenter does because she's packaging it as like a very hot, like 60s housewife. And visually looking like their utopia. And that packaging is not available to a lot of people. A lot of us, women of color, queer people, people who are not speaking softly when they say the word man child. So part of the profiting, which I'm not mad at this part, I think she's smart for this part, is that she's packaging what she's considering to be like sort of talking about weaponized incompetence, but she's packaging it in a very male gazy font that now this is where people are calling satire, and I'm starting to call, guys, we're giving them what they want to see. So it can only be so satirical. At a certain point, if a man puts his headphones in and he's enjoying himself, I don't like it. Now, I don't mean that in the broadest sense of the term. What I'm saying is they can plug their ears, go la la la, and they're going to be turned on by everything that they're seeing coming from her. That's not satirical. That's common. That is what's normally going on anyway. It's almost redundant in the sense of, so why does she need to do, because it's already happening. Go to an X-rated site. Do you know how many times that those roles have been visually presented? Let me say that. Do you know how redundant that visual image in image and in life and in expectations of the roughness and the hair pulling, especially if we're going to start to talk about sexuality? I do get a little bit uncomfortable because there have been times where I know that this version of men, they think that women want to be kissed and hit at the same time and they won't ask first. And this is lots of men. They think that like slapping women in the face is like what women want. And I can't act like this constant like hotness of fist grabbing hair amidst a Diddy trial where my association with the grabbing of hair is Cassie being dragged across a carpet. I don't think any of us have the mental athleticism to separate those themes at this point in time, where women are right now, and the amount of degrading we still get. This isn't satire. This is common. This is what the world is right now. Women have not achieved enough upward mobility and freedom from this sort of imagery for it to be flipped on its head and called a Uno reverse. So the word satire, let's take that out of it. And also the people in the comment section saying, well, you guys just don't have media literacy because it's supposed to be satirical and you have to wait for the album to come out. That's not how art works, you guys. The image in itself is already art, and it's already a statement, it's already a theme. And it's standing on its own, and we can talk about it on its own. We are not going to pause talking about the fistful of hair, the masculine fist on the feminine hair. We're not going to pause talking about that during the Diddy trial until she puts out another ballad, because that doesn't make any sense. Okay? Sydney Sweeney selling her bathwater isn't setting women back 100 years. It's just sad that somebody that visible, who's had that much success and is a pretty thin, white, blonde woman, still can't afford to reject that. It's sad in a few ways because you want femininity to be able to capitalize and monetize in a way where she can say no to that. Well, I think, Kim Kardashian has been able to go from things that are more raunchy to more selective. So it's not that it's not possible. And maybe it's because we've seen it be possible, or maybe it's because it's sad when it's not. I don't know what it is. But it's not the first time that Sydney Sweeney has been in the news for doing some sort of partnership or brand deal that people thought would be below her. Because when you see someone like topless in Euphoria, you want that to pay for their future meals, like in perpetuity, if that's what that word even means, to be honest. What show was it that was making a joke about that very recently? Because I think that's why that's in my head. I just think we, specifically as women, are sad that what we have seen her do has not financially gotten her further to where this is like not even a conversation, because she just is so above and beyond it. But if she's not, I'm not going to be like mad at her for getting a bag. I don't think it's like particularly setting women back because, work that caters to men will always probably be a thing because it just always has been. And it's like, it's not like that doesn't already exist. I think it's more the fact that you would want a movie star to like not have to do that. But it's a recession, and I guess these are the times. So I don't know.